Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So today we continue to read Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita as it is, book written by His Glorious Sachi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And today we continue to read second chapter, verse 17, 18 and 19. So let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse 17. Translation. That which pervades that entire body, you should know that be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Purport. This verse more clearly explains the real nature of the soul, which is spread all over the body. Anyone can understand that is spread all over the body. It is consciousness. Everyone is conscious of the pains and pleasures of the body in part or as a whole. With spreading of consciousness is limited within one's own body. The pains and pleasures of one body are unknown to another. Therefore, each and every body is embodiment of an individual soul, and the symptom of the soul's presence is perceived as individual consciousness. This soul is described as 1/10,000th part of the upper portion of hair point in size. The Shatashvatara Upanishad 5.9 confirms this. Balagra Sata Bhagasya Satatha Kalpitasya Cha Bhago Jivah Savijnayah Ha Sachanantyaya Kalpate. When the upper point of hair is divided into 100 parts, and again each of such parts is further divided into 100 parts, each such part is the measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Similarly, the same version is stated. Keshadra Sata Bhagasya Satam Sah Sadrisham Makah Jivah Sukshma Svarupayam Sakhyatito Hi Sitkanaha Hi Chitkanaha. There are innumerable particles of spiritual atoms which are measured as 1/10,000th of the upper portion of the hair. Therefore, the individual particle of spiritual soul is a spiritual atom smaller than material atom, and such atoms are innumerable. This very small spiritual spark is the basis principle of the material body, and the influence of such a spiritual spark is spread of over the body as the influence of the active principle of some medicine spread throughout the body. This current of the spirit soul is felt all over the body as consciousness, and that the proof of the presence of the soul. Any layman can understand that the material body minus consciousness is a dead body, and this consciousness cannot be revived in the body by any means of material administration. Therefore, consciousness is not due to any amount of material combination, but to the spirit soul. In the Mundaka Upanishad, the measurement of atomic spirit soul is further explained. Esho nur atma chetasa vida davyo yasmin pranah panchatha samvivesha pranais chitam sarvam otam prajanam yasmin vishuddhe vidhavati esha atma. The soul is atomic of size and can be perceived by perfect intelligence. This atomic soul is floating in, in the five kinds of air, prana, apana, vyana, samana, and udana, and situated within the heart and spreads with influence all over the body of the embodied living entities. When the soul is purified from the contamination of five kinds of material air, this spiritual influence is exhibited. The Hatha Yoga system is meant for control the five kinds of air and cleaning the pure soul by different kinds of sitting postures, not for any material profit, but for liberation of the mind and soul from the intelligent intelligent of material atmosphere. So the constitution of the atomic soul is admitted in all Vedic literature, and it is also actually felt in the particular experience for any sane man. Only the insane man can think that this atomic soul is all-pervading Vishnu Tattva. The influence of the atomic soul can be spread all over a particular body. According to the Mundaka Upanishad, this atomic soul is situated in the heart of every living entity, and because the measurement of the atom, atomic soul is beyond the power of application of the material scientists, some of them asserts foolishly that there is no soul. The individual atomic soul is definitely there in the heart, along with the super soul, and thus all energies of body movement are emanation from this part of the body. The corpuscles with carry the oxygen from the lungs, gather energy from the soul, then the soul passes away from this position, and the activity of the blood generation fus- fusion fusion ceases. Medical, medical science accepts that importance of the red corpuscles, but it cannot ascertain that the source of the energy is the soul. Medical science, however, does admit that the heart is the seat of all energies of the body. Such atomic particles of the spiritual are compared to the sunshine molecules. In the sunshine, there are innumerable radiant molecules. Similarly, the fragmental parts of the Supreme Soul are atomic sparks of the rays of the Supreme Soul, called by the name Prabha or super energy. So wherever one follows Vedic knowledge or modern science, one cannot deny the existence of the spirit soul in the body, and the science of the soul is ex- explicitly described in the Bhagavad-Gita by the personality of God Himself. Verse 19, verse 18. Translation: the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. Purport: the material body is perishable by nature. It may perish immediately, or it may to do after 100 years. It is a question of time only. There is no change of maintaining it indefinitely. But the spirit soul is so minute that it cannot even be seen by an enemy, not to say nothing of being killed. As as mentioned in the previous verse, it is so small that no one can have any idea how to measure its dimension. So from both waypoints, there is no causes of limitation, because the living entity as he is cannot be killed, nor can the material body the set for by length of time or permanently protected. The matter particle of the Holy Spirit acquires his material body according to his work, and therefore observance of religious principles should be utilized. In the Vedanta Sutras, the living entity is qualified as light because he is part of parcel of the Supreme Light, and sunlight maintains the entire universe, so the light of the soul maintains the material body. As soon as the spirit soul is out of this material body, the body begins to decompose, because it is the spirit soul who is maintained with body. The body itself is unimportant. Arjuna was was advised to fight and not sacrifice the cause of religion for material bodily considerations. And last verse for today. Translation: neither he now thinks that living entity the lair, nor he who think is slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. Purport. Interesting verse. When an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that the living entity within the body is not killed. The spirit soul is so small that it is impossible to kill him by any material weapons, as will be evident from a subsequent verse. Nor is the living entity killable because of his spiritual consciousness that is killed, nor is supposed to be killed. It is the body only. This, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. The Vedic injunctions is ma Ma himsyat sarva bhutani. Never commit violence to anyone. Now does understanding that the living entity is not killed encourage animal slaughter, killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as by the laws of the Lord. Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing of the principles of religion and not with mystically. So today on this verse we read about the soul. What is the soul? The soul is eternal soul, and the body is uh, is and body um, is well perishable, perish, perishable by nature. It's a question of time only, and Arjuna don't is Arjuna's forget about this, and Krishna tell to him about this that his teachers is eternal soul, and if Arjuna will kill his body, the souls of his teacher will live eternal. And on the next verse we will read, and it's not it does not understanding that the living entity is not killed and encourage animal slaughter. No, killing of the body, killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable, and this punishable by the law of the state as well as by the law of the Lord. And Arjuna, however, is being engaged in killing of the principle of religions and not with mystically. And we continue on the next video. Thank you for watching this video till the end, and see you on the next time. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.